Hello everybody, welcome back to another Mystic Islands video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and today I have a little bit of a special video for you guys. Right before I get into that though, I do want to let you guys know that I am selling stickers at the moment, so if you follow me on Instagram and just DM me that you want some stickers, I'm selling them for about $1.50 each, and I'll send them out, free shipping, no problem. So just let me know if you want any of the Mystic Islands logo stickers, but that's obviously besides the point. So today we're going to be talking about the 5 tips for starting your own homemade trading card game. So I've been around in the community for a while now, a few years actually, and I have not made a video like this. So hopefully you guys do value my opinion, as I feel like my game has grown a lot over the past 2 to almost 3 years now, I believe. So these are in no particular order at all. So obviously Mystic Islands is my trading card game. This is not the only one I've ever made. Obviously you guys know I've made Class Wars, I've shown that on the channel as well. And I learned a lot from that trading card game. So obviously I just want to bring my knowledge to you guys if you want to start your own. So let's get right into this video. My first tip is going to be coming up with a unique idea. So basically you want to stand out in the community. You don't want to be a copy paste of another game. Obviously themes and things like that are decently limited, as Mystic Islands is like a fantasy theme game similar to Magic or Wrath of Kors or Kingdoms TCG. They're all fantasy based, but yet they're all unique in their own sense. As long as you are able to find a unique spot within the homemade trading card game space, you'll be just fine. And obviously do not copy anybody. No one should be copying from each other at all. You have to be able to get creative and come up with your own ideas. Obviously you can have inspiration, but as long as it's not insanely heavy inspiration, it is acceptable. And I know this might be the hardest part for someone coming up with a trading card game, but the best way that I found out to do it is basically to try out a lot of trading card games, whether it be homemade or ones sold in stores, see what you like about the game and what you'd want to change and why you'd want to change it. So basically I built my trading card game. I was heavily inspired by Magic the Gathering. Now I do like the fantasy theme a lot, so I did stick with that type of theme, but the card game is very different. The artwork is a different style. I wanted a very fast-paced game that had a little bit easier to get your resources, as in Magic, the Mana Flood and Mana Starve were very irritating to me as a player. So this is definitely something I wanted to fix, and therefore I implemented it into my own game. The second tip for starting your own homemade trading card game is rules before the cards. Do not just go into the game making cards. I know you're going to want to, and you're going to have heavy inspiration from other games or just great ideas in your head. Obviously you can write them down, but you're going to want to make all the cards, do the artwork, do all the effects, do all the design aspects of the game, as that's honestly one of my favorite parts of the game. But the problem with that is you start designing for a game that doesn't really have any substance yet, and the cards aren't really going to work well with the rules you've set. This happened to me in the beginning of my game, but it definitely put the game at a little bit of a disadvantage early on. So what I would recommend is writing out all of the rules, and whether they're good or bad, it doesn't matter at first. Just get the rules all done with what you want, and then base the cards around that. My third tip is going to be playtest, playtest, playtest. Yes, I know you're very caught up in creating all the cards and all the lore and everything that you want associated with the game, the branding, the logo, whatever, but you need to make sure this game is a good game. This is probably one of the hardest parts about a homemade trading card game, is actually going through game after game after game, playing with people, getting their feedback, whether it's negative or positive. There's been many times in the beginning parts of my game where people did not like my game, and I can't get upset about that. All I have to do is ask them why, and obviously soak in that information and figure out why the game is not fun or whatever the problem is, and correct that issue. So obviously you guys, if you follow the channel, you know the Chaos Crystal system was very slow in the first set of the game, and we switched it over when set 2 started around that time, to where it still worked with all the cards in the game, thankfully, but it sped up the game dramatically. And that's what I wanted in my game, so that really just worked out a lot better, and it's become a lot better since. So sometimes you have to be willing to adapt, and playtesting is the most important part of that. If you can have some family or friends play with you over and over and over again, that is hugely appreciated. And then based on this play testing, you need to be able to modify your cards, even though it may be altering the dream of what your card game is for the greater good of the game. This is something that I actually had to deal with, and I did not really want to change, but I saw the benefit in the long run and how many more people enjoyed the game and had a better experience playing it, and therefore I should just accept the changes and create a better product. My fourth tip on starting your own HTCG is to choose your medium. This is something you'll probably choose pretty early on actually, but I'm putting it at 4. I mean, these are in no real order, but I would say probably do this after all the other things. This is probably a skill-based thing, but basically choosing your medium is choosing how your artwork is going to look. Obviously, every trading card game, for the most part, has artwork or some type of visual. So you decide if you want to do colored pencil, markers, digital, realistic photos, or whatever else. If you're doing this alone, it may be best to just do whatever your skill set is good at. And if you do not feel confident in this area, obviously you can reach out to other creators or find other people to do your artwork for you. There's no shame in that. Obviously, if you're trying to take this beyond the community, you would most likely want to go more digital professional. But if you're okay with just having a game that's fun for your friends, sell a few copies on the Game Crafter, do what you want to do. And my fifth tip is a very simple one. Don't quit, commit. Now this one hits me home very, very hard, as a lot of times I do get bored with some of my projects that I'm working on and I just decide to drop them. I'm sure this is a problem for a lot of people, but if you're going to take on a commitment as big as a trading card game, you need to at least be able to stick with it. I don't know how many games I've seen on YouTube that have just fizzled out over the years, and that is no disrespect to anybody in the community. Obviously life happens and it's been harder for me to even pump out videos at this point, but if you are willing to put in the time and the effort when you can, it is a very rewarding process. It's an awesome feeling to see a TCG stay around for a long time. It is very hard to keep one going, so I do understand why a lot of people do quit or end up stop making videos, or the game just slows down to the point where you cannot sustain it. And I totally understand it's not exactly the most wallet friendly thing to design, but if this is a passion to you, I strongly suggest that you commit to this process. Take your time if you need to, and don't make it feel like a job if you don't need it to. And sometimes taking a little bit of time away from the game will inspire you to come back to it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I inspired you to start your own homemade TCG. If you guys did like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. We're very close to 500 subscribers, and I'm thinking about doing a face reveal for that. So if you guys want to see my pretty face, hit 500 subscribers. And if you guys want me to do more videos like this in the future and give a few more tips about the homemade TCG process or anything behind the scenes, let me know down below, as well as give me more tips that you think would be better for starting your own trading card game as well. So thank you guys so much, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.